Coming up on Evening Edition, Carbondale prepares to vote on recreational marijuana. Plus, a congressional candidate visits Carbondale. And students took to campus to speak out about climate concerns. Live from Southern Illinois University, you're watching River Region Evening Edition. Carbondale City leaders will be talking about the sale of recreational marijuana at tomorrow night's meeting. Good evening, I'm Jacob Gordon.
And I'm Michelle Mathis. Marion Murfreesboro Anna opted out, allowing the sale of marijuana recreationally. The Carbondale City Council will be discussing the topic. Williamson County has opted in on allowing marijuana sales. Among the marijuana ordinance, the council will also be discussing alcohol regulation and sales during Halloween.
Murfreesboro teachers are meeting tonight to continue negotiations for a new contract. There are more than 150 teachers and support staff who've been working without a contract since August. Last week, they filed their notice of intent to strike. The school board meets tomorrow night, and teachers hope that they will approve a deal. Carbondale teachers are still negotiating their contracts. And state police say one person is dead and another is injured seriously after a crash in Perry County Saturday. The crash happened just around 4 Saturday afternoon. 41-year-old Isaac Gurley of Heron was passing a vehicle in a no passing zone along Illinois Route 127 north of Matthews Road. Gurley's truck hit 67-year-old Burley Beard's motorcycle head-on, causing both Beard and the passenger, 69-year-old Therese Beard, to be thrown from the bike. Therese Beard was pronounced dead at the scene of the crash. Burley Beard was airlifted to a St. Louis hospital with major injuries. Gurley was uninjured.
The Jackson County Sheriff's Department is investigating the death of a DuPont man found dead over the weekend. Deputies received a 911 call at around 12:40 Saturday morning. When they responded to Ava, they found the body of 37-year-old Edward Dudley of DuPont. An autopsy is scheduled, but investigators are not releasing any more information at this point. Investigators in southeast Missouri dug for evidence this past week, hoping for clues in an unsolved crime from 4 decades ago. But once again, they came up empty. The Southeast Missourian reports it was the latest disappointment in the 40-year-old disappearance of Cheryl Ann Shearer. Shearer was 19 when she disappeared from her job at the Rhodes Pump Your Own gas station in Scott City the morning of April 17, 1979. Authorities believe Shearer may have been kidnapped.
Democratic primary candidate Ray Lindsay is challenging Congressman Mike Bost on his silence on corruption in the Trump administration. Lindsay sent a letter to Bost today demanding him to pressure the release of a transcript of President Trump's conversation with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Lindsay says it's important for Americans to have transparency.
I would call for the full release of the transcripts. I would call for the investigation, and if the investigation reveals what the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal are reporting, I would definitely say that this would lead to serious proceedings.
Lindsay officially launched his congressional campaign on Thursday.
Well, first day of autumn, and it certainly doesn't feel like it.
It does not for sure. Sam Soto is here now at the first look at weather. Sam, when are we actually going to feel like autumn?
Well, Jacob and Shay, I can't guarantee that it's going to start feeling like fall out there anytime soon. You're right, it definitely didn't feel like fall out there at all today. But I can tell you for tonight, we are cooling down just a little bit to 61 with those clear skies. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be seeing 54 degrees pretty early on, but by midday, we're going to already be reaching 77 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So it is going to be pretty warm out there. And like you guys already mentioned, for those of you who don't already know, it is the first official day of fall. But although it doesn't feel like that now, and we don't have any cooler temperatures on the way as of yet, we do have some showers in the near future. I do have more of that coming up in my full forecast, so stay with us.
All right, Sam, thanks. Soon you might be able to purchase beer and wine at Southeast Missouri State athletic events. The board met on Friday to discuss the selling of alcoholic beverages at home games and to revise the university's tobacco policy. While the board agreed to update the policy, the specifics of the change have yet to be decided. While the sale, distribution, or free samplings of tobacco products on campus is not allowed, an outdoor smoking area will be available on campus. Pulitzer Prize-winning author David Kennedy will deliver the Morton Kennedy Lecture tonight at SIU. The Morton Kennedy Public Affairs Lecture Series is presented by the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute and the Department of Political Science. Professor Kennedy will present A Tale of Three Cities, How the United States Won World War II, tonight at 6 in the Student Center Auditorium. The lecture is free and open to the public.
The annual Women for Change event took place on Saturday. Participants marched together towards Addicts Park, where they held a family event featuring food, activities, performance, and speeches from local activists. Organizers of the yearly event aim to bring the community together and celebrate the community's diversity, including religious, environmental, and university organizations.
Millions across the world took part in strikes against climate change on Friday.
And one happened on SIU's campus. Evening Edition's Danny Connolly was there.
Around 75 students and community members showed up to protest climate change on SIU's campus Friday. Protesters listened to speakers talk about different ways Southern Illinois is suffering from pollution, from coal burning to inefficient agriculture to hydraulic fracturing for oil.
That's just a 12-mile pipeline from the Pond Creek mine to the Big Muddy River, dumping up to 3 million gallons a day of dirty coal water into the Big Muddy.
Many of the speakers think the best way for change is to hold politicians accountable.
Look at your heroes. Look at your local hometown politicians. The ones that are church leaders. The ones that are Little League coaches. Look at what they are voting for. They are not innocent tonight.
Some speakers focused on the plans for the future. Two SIU seniors, Grant Depoy and Jacob Bolton, talked about the Evergreen model, a plan to make Evergreen Terrace more sustainable through landscape development mixed with social reform.
Evergreen Terrace is a comprehensive community. There's all ages, and we have the ability to provide platforms for people to express their values. Underspoken values are the ones we need to hear.
According to the Evergreen Model's Facebook page, University Housing is on board. After the speeches, the protesters marched to the Cole Research Center on campus. For Evening Edition, I'm Danny Connolly.
Southern Illinoisans Against Fracturing Our Environment also hosted a Get Off Fossil Fuels Festival on Sunday at Turley Park.
And ahead on Evening Edition, the United Nations Summit began today. We have a look at what happened coming up.
Find out why next. You're watching Evening Edition at 5.